All right, Vicky and Jeremiah.
Yes.
Vicky and Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you've been here before.
Yes.
By yourself, but you guys are a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Vicky, where are you from originally?
San Francisco.
What was your family like growing up?
I grew up with my mom mostly, and it was just pretty normal, except for when I got to high school and started using drugs,
Is that when
and then got separated from my mother.
Oh, really? Where'd you go when you got separated?
I started staying at random people's houses, getting high,
What age?
slamming meth, and like just totally doing
Going
a different
on.
route than I thought I was gonna do.
What age was that? Did that start?
18.
18. Okay.
Well, 21 when I started slamming meth.
And you've
I
been-
started smoking heroin first, and then I tried the meth, and
and
I
you've
liked
been
it.
using drugs ever since?
Yeah,
How old are you now?
32.
32. And Jeremiah, how old are you?
I'm 44.
44. You guys have been together for how long?
For about 6 months.
6 months.
We met in tiny homes, and her previous boyfriend went to jail, and it just kind of happened. And we got 6 months now. We're living in the park across the street, just hustling, sparing change, selling drugs when we can to make money.
Panhandling.
Mainly. It's rough out there. A lot of crazy people running around, and a lot of violence.
What are your drugs currently?
I use fentanyl. I use about a gram to a gram and a half a day of fentanyl, or I'll get sick. I don't get high anymore. I'm past the point of getting high on fentanyl.
Your body's
It's just basically you're so used to it. It just it makes me well, so I don't throw up or get real sick or anything like that.
And Vicky, what are you using?
I use fentanyl and meth too,
And what do you guys do to
and sometimes Xanax.
Yeah, Xanax are fun.
what are you guys doing to make money?
I panhandle and steal from stores and take it downtown to sell for money
To
to
the
get
fences.
more drugs, and do that. And I usually buy a Xanax to sell to can I get bottles cheap downtown. So I'm doing that, and she's out panhandling, doing what she has to do as a woman, you know, and yeah,
Does that mean like sex work sometimes?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And did you tell me you were pregnant?
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
6 weeks,
I don't really even know how many months.
6 weeks, well, 6
honestly.
weeks.
And Jeremiah is the father?
Yes.
Um,
It happened. It's weird how we met. You know, we met in tiny homes and everything.
We just get along really well.
And I was hooking her up with fentanyl, and her boyfriend went to jail, and we just kind of hooked up, sneaking out each other's rooms and doing drugs. They finally kicked us out. But we might have a chance of getting housing soon, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Because we're staying in the park, it's freezing and
Freezing
it's dangerous. I got stabbed one time a year ago, 4 times in the head in my sleep. Some guy stabbed me. I vaguely remember wrestling with somebody, but I was on heroin, so I don't really remember. It's very dangerous on the street. People pointing guns on you and all kinds of stuff.
since you came in last, Jeremiah, that was what, like maybe 6 months ago?
Yeah, it was about 6, 7 months
Probably
ago.
right before you guys met.
Yeah.
How has your life changed since then?
I was hoping for the best, but you know, I got out of hand at the tiny homes, getting high in my room, setting the fire alarms off like 30 times while I was there. Then they knew me as like, I always got away with it but they got a new management, and the management finally kicked me out and kicked her out because they caught us sneaking into other rooms. And in my room, she caught her in her room.
Yeah.
We were getting high and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Partying.
Party, yeah.
Vicky, is this like? Did you have dreams of doing something else with your life other than this lifestyle?
Yeah, like kind of never really wanted to like belittle myself to get drugs or have to like beg every day. I thought I was gonna have a job, a car, go to college, and have like my first boyfriend be my only boyfriend. So yeah, big difference.
Yeah, it kind of went off the rails, didn't it?
Yeah, and I wasn't too happy about that.
What
Yes,
was? I mean, was there anything in your childhood, any abuse, anything like that maybe set you on this path?
Not with my mom or dad, no.
Nothing
I
like
didn't
that.
really see much of my dad, but I had my mom.
It's really just the drugs that.
Yeah, it was just like me, and my mom was trying to get me not to do them. But it took my friends a lot to get me to try things because I was like really square, like didn't want to do anything bad. But eventually I was just like, and let all loose.
You went all out.
Yeah, I was like, forget it.
Yeah, and do you have kids currently?
Yeah, I have one.
And where is your child?
He's got adopted out and he's in Arizona.
So, I mean, are you looking forward to having this child with a fentanyl addiction, or what do you? How do you see it?
Kind of worried.
I don't think
If
you're
I don't
very-
have a place to live.
Yeah, we don't have a place to live. And
It's very likely you'll lose the second child too.
Yeah, probably.
probably.
Not
And,
unless I can like
You get off the fentanyl.
have a
it's hard.
miracle.
We're stuck on fentanyl.
Or ask
We're
them.
hooked.
Yeah,
It's like,
totally bad.
I don't think unless you put a gun in my head and shot me, I could stop.
Have you tried
Yeah,
to
I
stop?
couldn't.
I
either.
tried. I tried medications. I've been in 34 rehabs. I've done it all. You know what I mean? Luckily, I had insurance under my parents, and they paid for rehab. And then I had 2.5 years clean at one point. I didn't like the lifestyle. I moved across
Clean
the
off of
street,
heroin or clean off of fentanyl?
getting off fentanyl and heroin. But I moved across from a sober living. Yeah, I got sober.
You got clean off of fentanyl?
Yes.
How'd you do that?
I went to rehab, but I left after I got clean. I couldn't handle just being sober. The pain, the thinking, the mind, everything
Is
messing with me.
it still terrible months after you get clean?
I went to rehab. I took Suboxone for 10 days. I detoxed. I didn't get sick, but I just had this urge of like leaving, and the pain inside me couldn't handle being sober. Because I guess I'm trying to block something in my life, maybe depression, being depressed or something. I'm not really a heroin or opiate addict until about 6 years ago. I started doing heroin because of depression, and I was hooked on crack cocaine and all those other drugs. And I finally, went all out. I moved from a sober living with 2.5 years clean across the street to a lot to get high, knowing I was going to lose everything. I had an apartment, and I lost that after a year just doing drugs. Broke the windows, went crazy. And then I started doing fentanyl, and I've been on it for 5 years, fentanyl, and 1 year heroin, and then 24 years of crystal meth. So I have a long history. And she parties too hard, really hard, and it's hard. I got to support her habit and my habit. And she does the same thing. She pitches in a lot too. We're a good couple together out there, and we're hoping to get housing soon or something like that.
That way we can at least be warm at night and have a place to keep our stuff safe.
And our kid, if we have one.
Definitely, that's the most important part.
Because we don't know because of drugs and everything.
That's how I lost the first one, because I was basically homeless, and I also had all these drugs in my system because I didn't know I was pregnant the first time.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the hell?
But even still, the pregnancy isn't enough to get you clean from the drugs?
I can't. I would try. I've tried. I've gone to rehab too. It's really hard because my body, I get really depressed and it hurts.
Yeah, the pain.
I just don't see, I feel like I wish they would not make it a bad thing to smoke it, because when you're do it for so long, your body just becomes dependent on it.
Yeah, you're dependent. You get sick if you don't have it. It's like we're not getting really high. You know what I mean?
I don't get high at all
At
anymore.
all.
I can't
We
even
don't nod.
feel anything.
We don't nod and burn
Yeah.
burn holes on our clothes, all our clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, I do actually still.
Yeah.
But quitting is just not really possible, it sounds like.
It's not an option really right now. We'll be around it either way. Just selling it pretty much every day. I got to be, support my habit, her habit, and when we don't have it, we have to panhandle and do what we got to do to get our drugs.
What's your biggest fear at this point?
My biggest fear is getting arrested and going to jail or prison or something.
Yeah, but the way
I
things are
have
going,
good luck all these years.
the way things are going, it looks like you'll be on fentanyl for the rest of your life.
I don't think my body can handle it anymore, the rest of my life, because they don't even know what it does to you. But I've got really sick where I've ingested things out of my body that is from residue of some drugs or fentanyl from my stomach. It's like a vial or something like that. I got really sick twice, and I think that's the way fentanyl leaves your body. It's through your, it comes out of your lungs and comes out. I got really deathly ill, almost died. Had to go to urgent care, and they popped me full of IV and all that.
And what do you guys go through emotionally with this lifestyle?
Up and down. It's pretty good. We kind of fight sometimes over drugs and things like that. But
Is it difficult being a couple
it's interesting.
on the streets?
It's interesting on the street. I always been by myself on the street. It's the first time I actually had a relationship on the
Yeah,
street.
but if Vicky is dating somebody to get some money,
It doesn't bother me.
doesn't bother you?
No.
Well, it bothers me a little bit. It took me a long time until, like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem really worth it, you know? Because then I always, like, worry, you know?
It's
What
dangerous.
if they give me something, try and kill me, or, like, you know?
That's
Yeah.
the
It's not,
reason.
yeah, it's just,
It's a crazy lifestyle for a couple.
Yeah,
right?
most definitely. 'Cause anything could happen to me. I could be selling drugs in the wrong neighborhood and get shot, or anything could happen. To
What's the
me.
craziest thing you guys have been through in your 6 months?
Getting robbed at gunpoint a couple times.
Mm.
The very vicious robbery. There's a lot of fighting.
And you're staying up in North Hollywood.
Yes, in North
Yeah,
Hollywood.
there's gangs up there.
Yeah, there's gang territories and all that, and they patrol the park a lot, so it's hard to like be. We go to different spots in the park every night. We don't stay in one place.
Vicky, what's your biggest fear?
my biggest fear is I'm going to end up going to jail, like he said, because it's so depressing in there. I hate it. Not only that is like maybe losing touch with reality a little bit or getting lost, you know, and just like kind of just ending up in a miserable cycle and not being able to free myself from like things in my head that like sometimes I create and not to be able to like just like, you know, take care of myself. I don't want to be like, you know, like on the streets forever, you know. I want to.
Yeah,
like,
I want to have a house.
I want to
and-
grow and
yeah.
live. You know?
I want to get a house, have a car, have a life
Yeah.
that I never
it's like-
had. Because
yeah.
every in high school I went to, they're all have houses, kids, normal lives, and I guess they drink once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
They can handle it. I
But
can't.
given your fentanyl addiction, is it even
There's no way my fentanyl addiction is so bad right now. It's not even funny.
getting a job and getting a house?
If I
and all
could
that
shoot
things?
it, I'm scared of shooting it because I want to get high. You know what I mean? But I haven't shot it yet. But I've done hot rails
Ooh,
and other ways of doing it, sniffing lines of it. So I try. Next option is probably shooting it if I want to feel something.
But,
for the
but
rush.
isn't like getting a job, getting a house, kind of a pipe-
Actually, I work
dream?
part time sometimes for people and help them out and stuff, cleaning. That's once in a while, but I wouldn't mind getting a job at Ralph's. I had a job at Ralph's at one point. They said when I get off the drugs, call them, they rehire me. So
But working at a grocery store isn't really going to get you a house.
no, not really. It's union though. That's the benefit, insurance and everything. But
yeah, it is actually good.
But everything is kind of hinging on the.
hinging on the
I'm
fentanyl. The
getting
fentanyl is just got me stuck on stupid. And I do crystal too. I smoke a couple
So-
grams of crystal a day probably.
Why do you do the crystal?
I like the energy. I like cross-fading the two drugs. It's like Russian roulette kind of. So
Is that the same reason you do it, Vicky?
Yeah, I do it because it keeps me going, like up, and I just, the smoking, you know, is like what I love. Taking that hit.
that
is-
taste.
Yeah, it's just it helps me relax and just I'm just so used to it.
And you'll stay up how many days on that?
A lot. I do not sleep like at all.
Like 3 or 4. We stay for like 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row sometimes.
I barely ever sleep.
Yeah.
I'm up.
She says all the time, drive me nuts, and I want to sleep.
Like I cannot sleep.
But one of us has to stay up pretty much to keep an eye out when we're in certain spots and locations in North Hollywood.
And how'd you get pregnant? Were you using any kind of contraception or no?
We weren't using protection.
So,
So.
given your lifestyle, you thought pregnancy was kind of okay?
We
Didn't think about it.
didn't think about it, yeah. It was a spur of the moment, how we met,
Wow.
type thing.
Looking back at your lives, is there anything that you would have?
I would love to provide a home for her, like if it works out, we could still stay together for a while. Provide a home or an apartment and get a part-time job and give her the what she wants to do with her a career or art or
But
dancing.
you think there's a good possibility of doing something like that?
50-50 maybe, if I'm lucky.
Hmm. And what would
'Cause I'm
you
waiting for housing maybe right now.
Yeah,
So
we could
if
only
I get
hope.
that, I'm gonna get a part-time job and start working. But I'll still have to use that work. I'll have to smoke in the bathroom and try to keep my drug habit from me getting sick, and that'll be a whole other episode of things. So
Then you'll miss work if you don't have it. Like you can't
yeah,
go to work.
yeah, you
like
can't
the
work.
drugs come first.
You can't
That's what
barely
sucks.
walk or move.
right? No, it seems
Fentanyl it only costs 30 cents to make. And China wanted to import it here to kill all of the Americans. That's the rumor on the street.
Mhm.
And all these drug cartels got the recipe and they're making it, and it's everywhere. So it's going down cheaper in price. It was
They're-
100 a gram.
they're
now.
also putting it in other drugs now, I think.
Yeah, they're mixing it with like God knows what chemicals. That's why I'm saying getting sick and stuff. So fentanyl's a deadly drug. One hit I take could kill 10 people
Yeah.
at least.
Because your body's so conditioned.
Yeah,
So
so
used to it.
conditioned, so used to it. It's just steady habit every day.
And
So,
Vicky, how much are you doing a day?
As much as I can get, like a gram at least, because it's hard for me to buy as much as I would like.
yeah.
But
And slowing
it
down,
doesn't even do anything.
slowing down because you're pregnant is not.
She slowed down a little bit, but
Yeah.
I get on her about that. I want her to stop, but it's just I got her own things going on in her mind and stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get through this and have a kid. If not, I don't know what to say.
It's gonna be sad.
It's gonna be a sad story.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys have learned from your experiences doing this and going through this pregnancy and all that?
This is the first time I got someone pregnant in my life.
Yeah, this is probably not the ideal way to do it.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But I'll be there if I have to. So
Vicky, what would you say is maybe the most important lesson you've learned from living this lifestyle?
That it's better to stay like around people you know and not trust people by what they say, because for some reason I always fall into what people tell me and it's a complete opposite lie. Like they're just saying it and I should know already, that they're just lying to me. So definitely to just stick to myself and not be so open,
Yeah.
That's what I really regret. Like,
How
wish
far
it wasn't
along
like
are you in your pregnancy?
Huh?
How far along are you in your pregnancy?
About how many?
6 or 7 weeks.
6, 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And abortion is not
I
something.
think it's past that. We talked to somebody about it. We were
Yeah.
looking into it. Abortion. Maybe.
It's like too sad,
Yeah, it's too
like,
sad. I couldn't do that. That's
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
I don't really
My
believe in
conscience,
that.
I can't do that. My conscience.
All right, Vicky and Jeremiah, thank you so much for sharing your story. I wish you guys all the luck in the world. I think you'll need it.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. Thank you.